Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to the Programming Jungle. This is part 9 of our Python programming series, and in this part, we will talk about while loop, break, and continue statements. So, loops are programming constructs that repeats set of instructions until a condition is met. In simple terms, we can look by its syntax. So, while a condition is met, do something. Note on syntax is that this condition should return a bool value so that if it's true, then the loop will get executed again and again until it's true. Then you have a colon and then you have an indented block. So this block can be indented with a tab, two spaces or four spaces, etc. And whatever you write should go into this indented block. Like if you want to write another print statement, it should go here. And whatever you write outside of this indentation, this is not part of this loop. So this is the thing that you should remember. Okay, so now let's try with an example. So if I have I equals 0 and my condition is I smaller than 5, we just print I and we increment our I. So let's save this and run this first. Tutorial, this is 9.5. So we get numbers from 0 to 4 printed and then we get a out of loop. So if we check the code again, we see I is equals to 0. So this condition is satisfied. So we come inside the loop. We print the I and then I becomes 1. Since I is still less than 5, we again come into the loop. 1 is printed and I becomes 2. And similarly, when I becomes 4, at that point after printing 4, I becomes 5. Now 5 is not smaller than 5, thus this condition is violated. Hence we come out of the loop. Hence this condition is printed after I becomes 5. So this is the basic concept of while loop or loops in general. Now let's discuss about your infinite loops. So infinite loops are something that run forever and they are used in basically game programming and some other kind of stuff where you don't know exactly which condition should you break out of the loop in. We will come to that later. So let's say we just want to print looping forever. So here if you see, this is a condition that can never be a false. So basically no matter what you do inside the loop, this condition can never become false. And that's why this loop will go on forever and it is known as an infinite loop. So let's run this. And you see this is printing looping forever like forever. And to come out of this, you have to basically terminate the program using Control C, which raises an exception, and now we are out of the loop. So this is something to note. Basically this kind of programming we will use shortly and in our exercise also, so just to note that. And now let's discuss break and continue statements. So break is something that lets you break out of a loop when a condition inside the loop is satisfied. Even in case of like forever loops, you don't have a condition that can break you out of the loop from here. So you can use break inside the loop to just come out of the loop. Let me show you an example. So let's say we have I equals 1 and we want to have true. So this becomes an infinite loop and we want to print the squares of numbers. So let's say we print I into I, that is square of I, and we increment I. Now we want to print these squares until they become larger than 1000. So let's say if I star I becomes greater than 1000, then we don't want to print them, then we simply want to break. So now let's run the code and see the example. So basically we got the squares, and once the square reach, this is the square of 31, and after that there is a square of 32, so that is larger than 1000, and thus we break out of the loop. So what break does here is, when I star I becomes greater than 1000, this break command is reached, and this break command just breaks you out of this while loop. Thus the flow comes over here and we print out of loop. Now let's discuss continue statements. So continue statements are something that skips the line of code that are below it. So if I have something like let's say we write a small program that runs forever. Let's say we ask for a name as input. Just write name, and we want to do something like if the name has a in it, so if a in name, then we don't want to greet that person, otherwise we want to greet that person. So we can do something like print hi, and we just do name. So let's run this. Let's say the first name is Josh, so he is greeted with hi Josh, and let's say the second name is Drake. In this case, because we have a, that's why he was not greeted and the execution went to the next iteration. So let me just tell you what is an iteration. So iteration means a run of the loop. So basically all this code is executed as a part of single iteration. So whenever we come into the loop, we iterate over it. We say we are iterating. So iterating is one run of the loop, and after one run, the second run is known as second iteration, and similarly we go on third iteration, fourth iteration. So now we ask for name, and if a is part of the name, we continue. So continue basically skips all the lines that are below it, and basically you go to the next iteration of the loop. So this is the role of continue. So let's just recap once. Break basically takes you out of the loop, and continue basically skips all the line below it and takes you to the next iteration of the loop. Now, having discussed while loops, breaks and continue statements, let's jump to our exercise. So in this exercise, you have to use the calculator that we made in our if-else conditionals part, and we want to make it run indefinitely, and we want to stop it if the user writes quit, and we want to restart it if a person writes skips at any point. So let me show you the output for more clarity. So I have already coded it up, so let me just show you how it looks. So let's say we write the first number as 4, we write the second number as 5, and we want to perform addition. So we get addition of 4 and 5 resulted in 9. And now if we want to do something like 5, 6, and at this point we just want to like quit the operation, we just can write anywhere quit. So the calculator terminated was shown and the calculator terminated. Now let's run it again and check for what skip does. So let's say I write the first number as 5, but I wrote 5 by mistake and it did not want it to run basically any operation on 5 as my first operand. So I can just write skip anywhere, and this will directly take me to the next iteration of the loop. So whole program kind of like repeats itself. So now I have to write the first number again. So this thing skip can be implemented at any time. So I can write it over here also, and then also no operation was performed and I was directly taken to the first number input again. So this is sort of thing that we want to do in this code. The best way to do is to first go to that video and check out the code and learn about it, how was the logic written over there, and try to write that code first and then do this exercise. But if you don't want to do that, I can point you how you can directly get that code. So in all of my videos, I have this GitHub link in the description box. So just go to this link and you will see a website like this, and at this place we are storing all our tutorial files that I use in my video, properly documented and well commented, and we also have solution to our exercises. So we take the solution for our 8th exercise, and this is the code that we had in our previous if-else conditional video. So I won't be again explaining the logic behind this, so for that you can check out the previous video. We copy this code and paste it in our Sublime Text. So now, using this code as your base, just try to write a program that is able to do what I just told you. So just hit pause and try this exercise for yourself. I think that you will feel really satisfied if you complete this yourself, because it's a great exercise and a great learning opportunity. So just hit pause and try this. Okay, so by now I think that you have given an honest attempt at trying to solve this problem. So let's do this together now. So since we want to run this loop indefinitely, I will use while true, and then all the statements will be indented to the right because these are part of the loop. when we terminate the calculator, we want to print calculator terminated. So I am printing that thing outside the loop. And now having done that, let's jump to the logic. So since x, y and op, these are the things that can also now contain skip and quit commands, so we cannot convert them directly to ints. So just remove these int conversions from here and first check if they are equal to skip or quit. For that I can do something like if x equals quit, then we simply terminate the calculator and we break out of the loop. On the other hand, if x equals skip, then I just skip all the lines below this, like entering the second number or entering the op, and I just continue with the next iteration. And I do similar kind of stuff for y and the op. So let's just do that. And we do that for op as well. Let's change the variables here for correctness. Now if we have reached this point, we know that all the x, y and op that are entered are correct. So we just convert now x and y to integers. So we use our type conversion functions, int x, int y. And I think this should do it, because now we have the quit functionality, skip functionality, we are converting x and y to int. So let's just test this. So clear the screen and run our tutorial file. So we enter the first number, let's say 3, second number let's say 4, we want to perform multiplication, we get multiplication of 3 and 4 resulted in 12. Let's say we want to write 2, and this time we realize that we don't want to perform the operation, so we skip it and we are back on the selection of first number. Let's say we went 4. At this point we realize that we don't want to perform any more operations, so we can just quit. So the calculator terminates. So this is the correct code for the exercise. I will also upload this code on my GitHub link and paste the link in the description box below, so be sure to check it out. And I hope you learned a lot in this video, and with the help of loops and your if-else conditionals, you will be able to make great applications. So just keep trying things and keep tinkering with stuff. If you have any doubts or questions regarding the course contents, feel free to post them in the comment section below and I will try my best to answer them. If you want to support the channel, simply like the video and share it with your friends and family, and consider subscribing to the channel. And with this, I think this will be the end of the video. Until then, see ya.